morning, boys and girls. We are going to be doing a math lesson for the first time pre-recorded, not during one of our meetings, because of the math testing that you did today, so that we can still keep up with some of our math skills. So we'll do a normal setup just as we usually do. You'll need your math notebook, and we are going to take some notes together on subtraction with regrouping across all place values. So you can pause the video now and go grab your notebook if you don't have it with you. As usual, let's write our header. With your name. Today's date is 10/7/20 as when you're watching this. This is math lesson 4.3. We are going to begin this lesson, just as we've been doing recently, with a place value chart up to the thousands place. Just write the abbreviation for thousands, TH, hundreds, tens, and ones. All right, so in this lesson, we're going to be looking at regrouping across each of the place values. And let's look at base 10 blocks in our textbook to help us with this. This is your textbook, not your workbook, so you don't have this. But in this problem, 5,146 minus 2,598. As always with addition and subtraction, we'll begin with the ones place. In this number, the digit on the top is smaller than the digit on the bottom. We cannot subtract 8 ones from 6 ones, so we are already going to regroup. We regroup by going to the next largest place value, the tens. 110 regroups to 10 ones that we add. So this is what it looks like. Instead of 6 ones, we now have 16 ones, and instead of 4 tens, we have 3 tens. The way that we write that in our subtraction problem is like this. We cross out our 4 tens, write a 3 above it. We write a 1 next to the 6 to show that we've added 10 ones to the ones place. Now we can subtract 16 minus 8, which equals 8. This is what the 16 minus 8 ones looks like, and now we have these 3 tens. Next step, we are going to subtract in the tens place. So we have 3 minus 9 in the tens place. Once again, the digit on the top is smaller than the digit on the bottom. So we will regroup again by moving 100 to the tens place. There are 10 tens in 100, so that's what this is showing here. We're switching the 100 to the tens place. So we had 3 tens before. We're adding 10 more tens to that. So it is now 13 tens. And we have 0 hundreds now because we moved that to the tens place. So 100 and 3 tens is now equal to 0 hundreds and 13 tens. We still have not subtracted. Over here, this is what the subtraction of those tens would look like. Okay. We had 13 tens, we're subtracting 9 tens. And the way to show this is to cross out our 1 in the hundreds place and put a 0 above it. Then either right above or next to this 3, we're putting a 1 to show that 100 was regrouped to 10 tens. So this needs to be very, very neat on your papers to keep track of what's happening here. And it's especially important now to remember that we are always crossing off the part that has been regrouped. Our number to subtract from is now 13. 13 minus 9, which you can see here, equals 4. Step 3 now. For step 3, in the hundreds place, we have 0 minus 5. The digit on the top is smaller than the digit on the bottom again. So we're always going to the next larger place value. In this case, we have 0 hundreds, but we can regroup 1,000 to the hundreds place. So now we have 10 hundreds. We've removed one of those thousands, so now we have 4 thousands. And we had 0 hundreds before. Now we have 10 hundreds. So our 5 gets crossed out. We no longer have 5 thousands, we have 4 thousands. And we've added 10 hundreds to the hundreds place. So we put a 1 a little above this 0. And now we are able to subtract 5 from 10. 10 minus 5 equals 5. This is what that step looks like. Our final step is simpler because for the thousands place, we have 4 minus 2 thousands. We can do that without regrouping because the digit on the top is larger. We've regrouped in every place value. And as you can see at the bottom, to check our work, we can add the difference to the bottom number to get hopefully this exact same answer. And if it matches, then you can feel good that your answer is correct. Let's do some practice of subtraction across all place values. Starting with the number 5,176 minus 4,378. In the ones place, we have 6 minus 8. Can we subtract 8 ones from 6? No, we can't because the digit on the top is smaller. So we will cross out that top 7, write a 6 above it, and add 10 to the ones place. Now we can subtract. 16 minus 8 equals 8. Moving to the tens place. 6 minus 7 tens. Can we subtract 7 tens from 6 tens? No, we can't. The digit on the top is too small. So we are going to regroup from the hundreds place, crossing out that 1, writing a 0 above it, and giving 10 tens to the tens place. I'll stay consistent with our textbook and writing the 1 a little above it to show that that was regrouped. Now we can subtract 16 minus 7, which equals 9. Moving on to the hundreds place now. 0 minus 3 in the hundreds place. I can't subtract 3 from 0, so we regroup from the thousands place by crossing out our 5. We're going to move 1,000 over, so now it's just a 4, and give 10 hundreds to the tens place. We just put a little 1 next to the 0. We can subtract 10 minus 3 in the hundreds now. What's the answer? Very good. The difference is 7. Moving over to our thousands place, 4 minus 4 is 0. Do we need to write a 0? We do not. We don't need a placeholder 0 because it's in the largest place value. You don't need a comma either. So our difference, the final answer, is 798. Okay, let's move on down. to a couple of problems that I will have you work on your own. And then I'll go over the answer with you just as if we were in class. Okay. Please pause the video until you are done with these two problems. Okay. So you should be done with both of these problems. 2 minus 3, we are unable to subtract. We're going to regroup. And 12 minus 3 equaled 9. 4 minus 8 in the tens place. We're going to regroup again. You should have 14 minus 8 on your page. Please make sure that your numbers are crossed out like mine and your numbers on top match mine as well. 14 minus 8 equals 6. Good job. Now we can move on to the hundreds place. 3 minus 7 in the hundreds place. We'll need to regroup for that one. 6 thousandths is now 5,000. 13 is in the hundreds place now. We added 10. 13 minus 7 equals what? 6, correct. Now we can move on to the thousands place. 5 minus 2, so our last one, and we don't need to regroup for this. 5 minus 2 equals 3. Don't forget that comma between the hundreds and thousands place. Our final difference is 3,669. Moving on to number 2. 4 minus 6, we regroup. And this is what your problem should look like. Your 2 is now a 1 in the tens place, 14 in the ones place. 14 minus 6 equals what? 8. Great job. Now in the tens place, we have 1 minus 8. We need to regroup again. Now we have a 2 in the hundreds place, and what? An 11 in the tens place. 11 minus 8 equals 3, correct. Let's move on to the hundreds place. 2 minus 7, we will need to regroup. Now our 8 in the thousands is a 7. And what do we put here? A 1 next to our 2, so 12 in the hundreds place now. 12 minus 7 equals 5. Finally, 7 minus 5, 2 in the thousands place. There's our comma, our final difference, 2,538. Feel free to make some challenge problems for yourself. At this point, we have done regrouping in all of these place values, so you could write any number and be able to subtract it. We will spend some time in Friday's lesson subtracting across zeros, which is a little bit of a different task. It's the same concepts, but it's a little tricky, so we'll talk about what that looks like on Friday when we have our next math lesson. The math pages that you will do after watching this video are pages 63, subtraction with regrouping in ones, tens, hundreds, and thousands. For this exercise, it has the same problem all the way down, and it breaks up all of the steps. Your example is actually step 1 of that same problem. So in the example, it's already done some of the regrouping for you. And then you can just write in the ones place, that first step. 7 tens and 0 ones, we'll walk you through this part. We have regrouped so that 7 tens and 0 ones are now equal to 6 tens and what? 10 ones. I would suggest repeating those exact same steps on step 2 before you move on to the next one, because If you don't, you'll start subtracting, for example, 7 minus 7 in the tens place, when actually you now have 6 in the tens place. So you will write exactly what you did up there, or what the book did for you up there. Before you move on to the next step, which is to subtract the tens, 7 tens cannot be subtracted from 6 tens, so regroup the hundreds and tens. 2 hundreds and 6 tens equals how many hundreds and how many tens? Okay, so that's the same problem all the way down. On page 64, it's the same. You'll have steps 1 through 4 of the same problem. They have shown you what the regrouping steps look like, but you need to write the answers and explain 3 hundreds and 4 tens equals, once you've regrouped, how many hundreds, how many tens. For the next page, page 65, you've just got some subtraction here. Some of them have 4-digit minus 3-digit. Make sure you really are lining up your numbers correctly so that you're subtracting the right digits. Then color the answers from above. After you're done with these answers, there should be only some of these feet filled in to be able to get to the little present. Final page, page 66. You have multiple subtraction problems here. Feel free to use up the space above to work some of your problems, or get a piece of paper from your binder to do the work. And then you'll write the corresponding letters from this to find the name of the national treasure. So 2,160 will be one of these answers, and you'll choose the right letter of that answer, the difference. So 63 through 66, please complete those pages as soon as you are done with this video. And tomorrow, you should be watching this on Wednesday, so tomorrow, Thursday, you will have no math lesson. We will do the next lesson on Friday instead. I hope this makes sense. Let me know on Friday if you have questions about it before we move into our new lesson, and I will talk to you later. Bye.